All
What's up?
right, perfect. How's it going?
Pretty good. And you?
Good. Oh well, maybe I should add plants in my background too. I actually skip plants in my background, but it's good. Good staging. All right. Well, let's wait a few minutes.
Yeah.
We'll log in and check out the video. How's the weather down there?
Super hot.
Yeah.
It's like disgustingly hot.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's I can't complain. It's pretty nice out here. We really don't really get like nice weather out here too often. So when
Hmm.
we do, I don't really want to complain.
Yeah, and plus you're in the city, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you get that breeze. So
So very lucky to have like
hmm
nice weather. Um, cool. I think we're still logging in. Awesome. All right. What kind of plants do you have back there?
uh got some pothos, prayer plant, jungle boogie, uh ring of fire. Nothing too crazy. It's just like the plant shelf we have in our room.
I see. Yeah. The Jungle Boogie was actually the first philodendron I ever got.
Oh, really?
I was so fascinated by it. I thought it was like the coolest thing
I
ever.
know.
And then I ordered one. I think I ordered one from Asia because I was like, oh, because back then you couldn't really get that plant. You know, it wasn't
Right.
that common. And then um, and then when I got it like a few months later, it was like everywhere. I'm like, what? I
Right?
paid so
That
much
should,
money for this plant, and then now it's like all like popular everywhere.
yeah.
So now I've learned to just weigh off on plants.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
there's a lot of plants I know that people are just waiting to like a lot of the growers just growing them, right? So
Hmm.
they've already like are probably like propagating them. So just wait a little bit before they
Yeah.
go buy in
I've
Asia.
noticed that a lot too. Like you go to a plant shop, you might see like a random one here and there, but like say like you really want the plant, next thing you know, it's like at every plant shop. So it's
Yeah,
so crazy.
yeah,
So like now that I like kind of know the business, like I do know it's like, it just depends on the growers type of thing.
right, absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, okay. Thanks everyone for joining us today. My name is Shai, if you guys don't already know, and this is John.
But man,
And
P.
so we'll start off by so tell us a little bit about yourself, John, and
Um,
plans and whatnot.
yeah, so my name is John, originally from Florida. I live in Los Angeles, California. I got into plants honestly probably about like 2 years ago. But what truly got me into plants was like my dad, he always had cactus around the house. And I always wondered why he was like outside. And like I was like, why is this guy like so like into these cactus? So like I never really understood it until like the older I got, the more I realized like, he was onto something. So like now like I'm literally always outside. So like
Yeah,
now I totally get it.
yeah. It's like when you're younger, you don't appreciate all this things,
Yeah.
right? You're like, oh wow,
Yeah. Yep.
nature.
Yep. I know. Oh shit.
Yeah. What? What is this?
Imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And then, well, obviously everyone probably knows your Instagram. You're on YouTube as
Hmm.
well and
Hmm.
whatnot. Cool. All right. So I guess we'll just jump into it um, and share some topics that we kind of want to talk about. So basically, yeah, today we're basically here to listen to. For me personally, I want to just have John and listen to John and where where his stance is and how we can be better allies
Hmm.
um, and how we can do better as a plant community. Because I'm sure everyone who's logged in just wants to be better educated and learn more yeah. So the first question we had is why is it important to share your stance?
Okay, so like my thing is like if you're silent, being silent is like the opposite of what we need. Like no matter if say you don't even like you don't know how to voice what's going on, like at least like share something that you agree with. Or like if you do know what's going on, like I would appreciate if you would voice it because um everybody needs to know about it. Everybody needs to know what's going on. Like the more people we have like speaking up and saying things and just being vocal, the better it is for us to, you know, like end this. Like this has been going on for like, you know, way too long. And like especially like businesses and stuff, that's like like I've been like calling like businesses out and stuff, like say like they're being silent, I'll like, you know, go in their comments and saying we see you staying silent, or, you know, I had a post on my story saying like if your favorite plant shop or, you know, even like grocery stores being silent, like, you know, speak up and like try to let them know the importance of vocalizing, especially as a business because it's a large platform. I
Mhm.
just feel like it's extremely important to vocalize what's going on. Um, say like, you know, the person next to you or your friend, they truly may not know what's going on. Now that you're voicing your opinion and letting going on.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. And also, I think that just to add on to that is that you know when you I think us as consumers also, you know, we have the right to know where a company stands, right? Because we're giving them
100%.
we are giving them their money or our
Right,
money, right? So
right,
we should know who we're supporting, and
right,
yeah, that's why it should be visible because we should know who we're giving our money to. I
right.
think that's like the
And
main.
that's a huge thing for me because like no matter if you're like my favorite, like literally like all my apps I have, I checked to see if like these companies are being vocal. Like I literally, me and Plant Lady P, we thought about like literally everywhere we spent our money at, like
Mhm.
hoping these people are being vocal. Like I checked literally like Ralph's, Safeway,
Yeah,
uh, Trader Joe's, like everything. Like I literally checked everything so that way like I know I'm spending money with people that actually like support people that look like me, like, you know,
right,
like people of color. So I don't want to spend money with someone that's afraid to speak up. I don't
right,
want to spend money with somebody that's afraid to basically like at this point it's literally right and wrong. Like that's it. So it's a matter of right and wrong. So if you aren't on the right side, then I'm not trying to spend money with you, not trying to support anything like that.
right. Being neutral is wrong, right? If
Right.
being neutral, you
Exactly.
can be one or the other.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think also when you know you have to think about you know when you have a platform and you're using your social media to showcase your products and whatnot.
Yes.
I think you said this before. Is that if you recognize that using social media as a platform to be able to like share your products and whatnot, then
Right.
you know that means you recognize that you know
Right.
you show your stance. It
Like I was thinking about it. It's like so like I know there's people that say, oh, it's not important to voice your opinion on social media. Like for people, like individuals, I get that to an extent. But if you're a business, like you literally know it's important enough to create an Instagram
mhm,
to make your business thrive. Like how else are you going to get to clients in this day and age?
mhm,
So you know it's important to voice your opinion, you know, or not voice your opinion. You know it's important to create an Instagram to get your products out there, your company out there, basically reach a larger audience. So with that given, you know it's important to have a social media account.
right.
So with something so important as this, like people's livelihoods are at stake. Like
Mhm,
it's my life, it's everybody, like essentially every person of color's life.
mhm,
So you have employees that are people of color, you have customers that are people of color. So you don't think it's important to let them know, okay, like we stand with the African American community, we stand with people of color. You know, Black lives do matter, and we need to put an end to this. Like, you don't think that's important? You know what I mean? Like, if you can tell us you have a sale or your hours of operation, you can tell us if you're racist or not, basically. Like, that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree. Yeah. Sorry, just a few notes. If you guys do have questions or anything, we're going to actually leave some room at the end of this,
Yeah.
or towards the end of it. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Save them and just ask them later. Also, just a little side note, both me and John were kind of laughing earlier because we haven't really got on live too often. So if there's a few things that we're like doing wrong, just shout out in the comments to let us know that we're.
Yeah. Let us know if like you can hear us and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because
sure.
we're rookies to this game.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is, why is it important to be transparent with your followers? So being transparent, I think a lot of people were touching on the topic of like they're saying like, oh no, we've donated or we're doing our work, you know. But
Yeah.
why is it important for businesses to be transparent and share like how much they donated
Yeah.
or what they're actually doing? Why is that important?
So there's this nursery in San Diego, and like every time we go to San Diego, we haven't purchased anything there, but we love, you know, going there. So like every time we're in there in San Diego, we go, and like I saw that they were staying silent. So like it's like 4 days, 5 days passed. So I was like, all right, what the hell? So I said, you know, we see you staying silent, and a lot of people in the comment section agreed with me as well. And I guess like because there was so much traffic to that comment, I guess the owner like commented back saying, "Oh, basically I guess the owner is black, and he said he lives Black Lives Matter his whole like every day, and he's donated this and that. But literally, how are we supposed to know that?
Right.
You know, like yes, I understand like behind the scenes, like I'm the type of behind the scenes type of guy like my whole life, but like when it comes to things like this, like especially if you're black, like don't you think like it's important to like let your customers know, all right, my name is so and so, I'm an African American male, and I own so and so nursery. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're so active and letting, you know, like donating this and that, like you don't have to let us know where you've donated or how much you donate, but you need to let us know your stance and if you support the movement or not.
See, so I guess for my point of view, and the reason why I think that people should post how much they donate or where they donated, for me, like my thought process is that, you know, I think a lot of people who use a lot of businesses who use like social media platforms and whatnot, it's like it's usually like they're just posting their products, right? So usually like. And it's like when you think about when you get to know someone, right? It's because you are interacting with them, you're talking to them, and that's how you build trust, right? So essentially, for me, it's like, you know, these brands, these businesses that are posting the products and whatnot, and then they show their stance. The reason why it's important for me to like for them to show visibility or transparency about where they donate and whatnot, is because I don't know them. You know, I don't know who they are, and it's not that I don't trust them, but I want to trust them, right? But like, it's kind of like if they show me like they don't
the receipts.
Yeah, it makes me feel better because I'm like, okay, they're not just saying that they donated, right? But they're actually showing me that, hey, I am doing my part, I am donating, right? Therefore, I can trust them, right? Because, like I said, a lot of these businesses. Like, I don't know who I'm buying my products from, right? I know their products, right? I know what they sell, right? But I don't know like the CEO or I don't know the people who are selling these products, right? Therefore, it's like harder for me to trust them in a sense, right? So I think that's why it's so important to like, you know, to see where they donate. So then you can build trust.
So basically, like what you're saying is like. Yeah, I get it because like so say like Plantman P, like you don't know the owner of Plantman P, but you know Plantman P the brand.
Right.
but you don't know who's behind the brand Plantman P.
Right.
So as the business owner of Plantman P, you need to vocalize where Plantman P stands. I
Right.
get that, yeah. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. It's just all visibility, and then it's like because most of the time you don't know, like I said, you don't know who's the owner or CEO of
Right.
this brand that you're supporting. You don't know who they are, right?
Mhm.
It's like it's like like I said, we want to trust them and we want to like believe them, but
Yeah.
it just helps with transparency. It just helps when someone's posting it,
Yeah.
and,
Hmm.
and sharing that with us.
Okay. Yeah, I agree then.
Yeah. Um, so moving on, how can you use so businesses, people who are active in social media, how do we use our platform to educate our followers effectively?
I would say like, so I've seen like a lot of businesses just use that blanket statement, like, hashtag Black Lives Matter or hashtag Blackout Tuesday, or like they'll put a quote from Martin Luther King. Granted, that's amazing that you know this quote, but 9 times out of 10, you probably Googled, Martin Luther King quotes and just,
Yeah.
all right, boom, Black Lives Matter. That's it. I'm done. Like you already
Yeah.
stated your opinion, but I don't think that's enough. So I
Mhm.
think like it's important to like you as the owner of Plant Therapy,
Mhm.
um, say like you were just trying to figure out how to do this. Like, oh, how am I going to get the fact that Plant Therapy stands for Black Lives Matter? So
Mhm.
what you would need to do is literally like use your platform, make an actual statement, like type up something or whatever the case is. Use your own words, so that way it's transparent as to what you stand for and what you believe in. So like that's how someone can use their platform, is just making a statement with their own words, or say like say you do believe that Black Lives Matter but you don't know what to say.
Right.
So what I've been telling people is, say you don't know what to say, or say you're not like good with words or whatever, I would say repost everything that you agree with.
Mhm.
Like literally, like if you see like I've seen a whole bunch of things. There's literally a gang of information out there. So I
Mhm.
say like if you agree with something that someone posted or someone created, then repost it. Or
Right.
like say like content creators, like people who make memes or whatever the case is, like make those graphics directed towards Black Lives Matter and make shareable content. So that way people can share your content and what you agree with. So that way they can essentially have a voice. Like they are using your voice and your creation, but
Mhm.
at least that's a way of getting their message out there.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, I think how I kind of like me as a business owner, how I kind of like thought about this was like to your point, it's just like using my own words, right, and not
Right.
just posting something, right? Because
Yeah.
even if I was unsure about what to post, right, I think it's about the transparency
Right.
and being visible that I am human. I'm a
Yeah.
human being who and just being honest. I just don't know. And I think that's what happened with a lot of like a lot of like white owned businesses. And
Hmm.
I think that they probably just didn't know what to do, and because it's a sensitive topic, right? And
Yeah.
I actually like hopped on a few calls with a lot of businesses that were primarily white owned,
Hmm.
because I did like hold them accountable on their comment sections, and I talked to a few of like the social media account holder, and I
Right.
was just talking to him, as I was just being very honest with them, and I said, hey, like I understand that it's very uncomfortable and it's not easy to like speak on these things, but it's like be open and honest with that, and just
Right.
say, hey, I don't know. I'm here to listen.
Yeah.
I'm here to be better.
Hmm.
But that's all we were really asking for, is for you to say something, right?
Yeah.
And just be vulnerable and say like, hey, I don't know, but I'm here to help and I want to learn and I want to
Yep.
be better,
Yep.
right? And But I mean, I think that's the most effective way. Is just to show that you are thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's what you, and that you realize that there's an issue.
Yeah.
And that you want to do something about it.
Mm-hmm. Like that's why, like with my posts that I've been posting, I've said like, if you don't know what to say, or like, yeah, basically if you don't know what to say, like hop in my DMs, let's have a conversation. And like it's crazy to think about like how many people actually did like, reach out to me and DM me, and like a part of me is like wants to say like, I'm not gonna help you do your own research, because how the hell don't you know like about racism?
Right.
But another part of me is like, maybe these people really like don't know. Like a lot of people are, like secluded and just in their bubble. Mm-hmm. So like another part of me just like constantly wants to help people, and just like I've had a lot of people that have reached out. Mm-hmm. They've ended up making their own, statements or posts, and like it's cool to know that like I helped that, like right. I helped. Like I feel like everybody's purpose in life is to help and support and, just uplift each other. So like the fact that the conversation that they had with me made them realize, they're strong enough to post. They're strong enough to not care what their friends think. They're strong enough to not care what their, whoever, like their followers, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's dope to know that I was able to do that for them. And like, that's literally the purpose of everything. Basically, it's just like uplifting each other, just educating each other. And that's what this whole purpose is. This is what we have to do, is educate people on what's going on. Because like, this is my life. This is every day with me. Like, so if I was, like ignorant and just saying, oh, I'm not going to help you do your own research, that's just as bad as staying silent. So like, I feel like, if I'm vocal as far as telling businesses, all right, you need to make a statement, I need to be vocal with helping people who don't know what to say.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing a lot.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to put it too. Yeah, I think that but I think that's how we are approaching it, and that because we really want to understand. We really want to help other people understand, right? But I think it's important to also to make a point that there are no Black people who are tired, and they just don't want to. They don't want to educate others. It's not that they don't want to; they're just exhausted, right?
Yeah,
they're exhausted. So I think it's to make a point is that if someone says no, I don't want to educate you, you can't. If the Black person says that I don't want to educate you, then you can't be offended by that either, because that's up to them. It really is up to you to educate yourself, right? And if there's resources like this live, then great, right? But you can't be mad at someone who doesn't want to help. You can't be mad at a Black person if they don't want to help you. It's up to them. It's up to discretion. I think what we kind of talked about this before is that like we are happy. Me and you are both happy to help and educate others. But at some point, there is a self accountability, right? Self education where like for me, I'll speak for myself. I'm not Black, but I'm a person of color. So I guess there is a part of me that understands the discrimination aspect, right? But still, 100%. Like me, but also me, but being a Black man would be totally different from being an Asian man, right? So obviously my feeling or how I've lived my life is obviously different, but I think about like but then like I've learned to recognize the racism in the Black community myself. I sought out that education because I saw there was a injustice, right? So I think it's important also to say that at some point you do have to like dig deep inside and think about why, if you knew this is going on this whole time, and obviously you knew what was going on, so why have you yourself have not educated yourself, and why was it not important enough for you to think about it until now, right? So I think that's important to think about, because I think that is the reason why um, it might be uncomfortable for someone, or why this movement might not last is because a lot of people are not recognizing the actual inner issue within themselves as to why they know this is going on, but why they haven't done anything. I think that's the core of what we need to like understand and recognize within ourselves, like being reflecting our privilege all the time and thinking about like, if I knew this is going on, why did I not? I think that's the most important thing, and I think that's for each one of us to recognize that within ourselves. It's like, why did we not do anything this whole time?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I agree.
Okay. So the next question was, so how do we keep this movement alive? You know, I noticed that, you know, last week everyone was reposting and it was loud and everyone was doing it, right? But how do we now like keep it like moving forward, right? Because obviously it's not a trend, right? It's not something like, oh, we're just doing it for a week, you know, and now we're good, right? So I think I was sharing with you is like, you know, I can turn it off, right? And white people and people who are not Black can just turn it off and be like, okay, cool, I did my part, I'm good. But how do we then keep this ongoing and making it a normal thing that we are holding each other accountable?
So, like one thing, like I've still been doing, like granted, I'm kind of getting back to normal posts and stuff like that, but I'm still resharing informative things. I'm still like I'm still just trying to get the message out there, trying to help out. And one thing that businesses could do is hire Black people. So like the only way like we're gonna beat this is, well, there's many ways, but one of the best ways that businesses can do is putting people of color in positions of like corporate positions of ownership, giving us the tools that we need to help out, you know, generational wealth type, to help out like our kids, help out our kids' kids. That's the only way we're going to be able to do this, because like a lot of companies, for whatever reason, don't hire people of color. So I don't know if it's like education, or I don't know if it's literally just because you're a person of color or what it is, but that's one thing is the way businesses can help out this situation is hiring people of color and putting us in those positions to where we can, you know, make something of ourselves and, you know, do things and make change. So that's one thing. That's the biggest thing that I think we can do to help this move forward, is that like hiring people of color.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I guess I'll share with you some things that Plant Therapy is doing ongoing, right? So we are doing like so we are ready to open on Monday, actually. So in San Francisco, we're actually, retail is open now. People can come into our stores now. But so what we actually worked on yesterday was we actually made an area on our retail shelf that's going to be dedicated to Black artists. So that's going to rotate every month, but it's going to be ongoing. But that area is just dedicated to Black artists that will have ongoing. So that'll always be there. That'll forever, right?
Yeah.
Another thing we're doing is that you know, ongoing. So until racism ends, so forever. We're giving out 15% off to customers who shop at Black-owned businesses in the Bay Area. So, you know, those are some things that, you know.
Yeah, I saw that. That was dope.
Yeah, so those are some things that you can do ongoing, right? So these things are it might not be like a huge thing, right? But it's something that's always going to be there in our stores, that it's going to be ongoing, that's going to be supporting this movement, right? So, and to all the business owners out there, take my idea, please. Like, I didn't create this idea.
Yeah, honestly, like when I saw that, I was like, damn, like that's like not bold, but that's like a dope thing to do. Like that's like literally pushing forward, because like not only putting us in the position of ownership, but supporting these Black-owned businesses, supporting these mom and pop shops versus it, like, because there's grocery stores in LA that, like, that are Black-owned. So
Mhm.
instead of going to Rouse, go to these Black-owned grocery stores. Instead of shopping at H&M, shop at Playman P. Like, it's
Right.
instead of doing, there's little things you can do, and where that money is going to and coming from, and what we stand for, because at the end of the day, like, Black people are very transparent as to where they stand. So
Mhm.
instead of, just think twice about where you're spending your money. So instead of going to these places, go to, H&M, or not go to H&M, go to, these Black-owned businesses. That way you
No
can
H&M.
support them. Yeah, no
Don't
H&M.
listen.
Well, yeah,
Well,
yeah, no H&M.
yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, and then also so I think another thing you can do ongoing. So for me and my team, we actually, here in the Bay Area, there's actually a lot of organizations that we can actually essentially volunteer at or just like donate to. But mostly we want to volunteer to at these places. But that's also something as a business owner you can do commit to is that just it doesn't have to be every month. It can just be every few months or whatnot. But
Right.
it's something ongoing that you are doing, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's the important thing is that we're not saying that you have to make this
You
movement like a
must. Yeah.
really big thing like every
Yeah.
single week and that you need to post like about Black Lives Matter every single day. Or we're not saying that.
Yeah.
We're saying that what can you be doing that's all ongoing in your stores that might not be that might not
Traditional.
yeah it's traditional, or it doesn't even have to be like this big thing, but it's just something that's consistent, that's ongoing, because then you're supporting the movement.
Yeah.
Because I understand, like, yeah, we're supporting the movement ongoing. That and
Yeah.
it's like low efforts, right? But low efforts with every business doing it can create something large, right? Something
Hmm.
big that will be a very effective change,
Yeah.
right?
I agree.
Yeah. So I guess going on with that is the next question is when do you think it's okay? So we've a lot of people are doing some reposting already. Now this week, a lot of people are doing less of it or posting their products now. When is it okay to post regular content again, and why have you? So for instance, like, I guess I can, if you don't mind me asking, like, why have you now decided to post regular content again, and what made you feel comfortable enough to do that?
Um, so speaking for myself, like, I'm a person of color, and, like, no matter what I post, like, that's me speaking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, that's me voicing my opinion. That's me doing that. So I feel like personally, I could repost, or I can, go back to regular posting whenever,
Mm-hmm.
but from, like an outer or outside experience. So say, like, a non-person of color is wondering that when to repost or when can they post again. I feel like as long as you've made your statement clear, where you stand, um, what you're doing going forward, like how you're supporting, then you can repost. Then you can go back to posting your regular content. So basically, as long as you've made your stance clear, you
Mm-hmm.
can repost, or you can go back to posting. But it's just a matter of you need to make your stance clear before you do that.
Right. I agree. Yeah. So yeah, just to sum it up, yeah, as long as you uh, have made an impact of some sort, and your followers know where your
Right.
stance is, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
I guess for me, like, I guess my commitment's a little bigger than that. I mean, I would say that it should be something that you made a stance already, right? But I think that's important to also already have a plan on what you're going to do with your business moving forward. So whether it is having a wall of Black artists that you're going to have
Hmm.
ongoing, but having a commitment of some sort ongoing, right?
Yeah.
So because you thought about it, and you want to make a change, right? Because if you honestly, I just feel like, you put this off and you haven't really made some kind of commitment ongoing, you are more likely just going to forget about it.
Hmm.
right? So think
Hmm.
about it now. Take the time, take this whole week that you've had to think about. I'm sure businesses had time this whole week to think about hopefully,
Exactly.
to think about what they want to do to support this movement ongoing, right? So,
Hmm.
for me, like I guess I don't know if I held myself to my company to a higher standard, but like I was not gonna start posting about plans or anything until like I had like a solid idea about what I'm gonna do moving forward.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make sure that this movement is not a trend, right? That it's not
Right.
gonna go away. So I was committing to myself that I'm not gonna post any of my plans or any projects of mine until I actually had a plan that was solid that I was gonna move forward with.
Yeah. That's dope too. I like that. Um, just just making a plan of action, especially for people of color, like just just knowing how to support after the fact.
Yeah,
That's a good thing to do. I like that actually.
yeah,
So I think, but like at the end of the day, like, people aren't built like you. So like people may not be thinking that, but
mhm,
the fact that you're thinking that speaks volumes. So
yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah. I'm just a perfectionist, with everything.
Gotta be.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, no, no. I mean, I guess like I said, that's just my own stance. But to your point, I think that is super important. Your to your point is that not everyone's like me.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess for me, it's just really like I just don't want people to think it's okay just to post and then post about it and then forget about it. I guess
Yeah,
so. That's just me personally. For me, I just want to make sure that we're not talking about something else next week.
yeah.
It should,
Like honestly though, like that should be the I guess motto, or no. Yeah, I guess like for lack of a better word, that should be the motto for every business going forward.
mhm,
Is once you not only have made your stance clear, but made a a plan
mhm,
going forward, that's when you can go back to posting regular content.
yeah. Um, cool. So the next question. Sorry, you guys. I'm like looking over at my notes and everything, so I'm not like trying to ignore you guys or anything. So the next question is, how can the plant community do their part?
Um, like honestly though, like I feel like the plant community is one of the places where like it's like a safe haven. Like there's no color.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's cool as hell. Like no matter like what race, where you're from, sexuality, like everybody is just like we all have that same thing in common, and it's plants.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends, she actually has a business. Her name is the Plant Chica, and she told me like plant people are one of like the dopest people because like we all have that thing in common, which is plants, and like I feel like plants have like, especially like now that I've taken on plants a lot, like I feel like plants have like a kind of like a deeper meaning, like, self-care. It's like a form of therapy type of thing. So I feel like if we have all that in common, we're basically like we know what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of things I've seen people do is posting people of color, like just regular accounts, just giving them a shout out either daily, weekly, or whatever the case is. Um, but honestly, I don't know what we can do at the moment because I feel like we're already doing everything. Like we're not everything, but like I feel like we have a good balance within the plant community.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I guess like businesses, like what you were doing, like do those things of giving people of color a wall or giving people of color that extra shine.
Yeah.
Um, that's what we can do. And I've seen like a lot of like black owned plant accounts, like say like like Houseplant Club, but like the black version, like that
Yeah.
shit is dope. So like I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen a lot. Um, so that's one way, but like I said, just touch base on what I said before is like we're doing a good job with the balance. Like I myself haven't experienced any racism in the plant community,
Yeah.
um,
Let me know who
because I
they
feel
are. I will. No.
I know,
I got you.
right? But like, yeah, I haven't experienced any of that. So I feel like we're in a sense we're all equal because
Hmm.
we all have that same passion, that same interest. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, I definitely. Um, yeah, I guess some key points I just posted or I just wrote down was, just being more cautious about who you collab with. Just like
yeah,
if you can collab with, a um, a a person of color who loves plants or whatnot. That's just be more cautious.
right.
If there's an opportunity, then take the opportunity.
Hmm.
I think we also were saying like if you are a business or whatnot, just hosting events. So there's a lot of people of color who make ceramics or who make macrame or whatever class that they can or whatever expertise they are doing. Or I think we said like painting or something.
Yeah,
Just by
yeah,
hosting.
like painting pots, like whatever
Yeah.
like your niche is, because like with me, like I consider myself like a capitalizer, like an entrepreneur. Like I'm always trying to figure out a way, like the next thing. So like if you have a plant account and you have 500 followers, there's one person out of that 500 that's gonna support you. So I
Right.
feel like you have to figure out a way to capitalize off your following and figure out like a something you can make, like something you can create, whether that's hand painting tote bags or hand painting pots or making merchandise or making the basketball planners, like literally anything you can do. Like say you're good with calligraphy, like anything, graphic designing. So like those are the ways other people in the plant community could help support, is like if you, instead of going to so and so, go to somebody within the plant community that can do those things. So
Yeah.
like tying that into back into the plant community is like, helping us grow, helping us stay together, and helping like the main goal of that.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, just uplifting
Yeah, exactly.
the black community, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. So we have one last topic, and it's a pretty big one. And so what is what is the difference? So the difference, right, between being a good ally and
Hmm.
an effective ally. Okay. So So what is your idea of a good ally versus an effective ally, and what's the difference, and what are the things that stand out between the two?
So like as we spoke about offline, like a good ally is just like posting things like, oh, like Black Lives Matter, or post like, just resharing things. But a great ally, somebody that you can trust, is like, you know, supporting, Black owned businesses, putting money in our pockets, putting us in positions of ownership, putting us in positions of, I guess, power. Those that will set the difference. So like instead of like, just essentially using us for our platform or our ideas, like put money in our pockets, like help us reach our end goal, whatever our end goal is. Like, other people have end goals, but like whatever your end goal is, like if you're gonna have an ally, have that ally help you reach your end goal.
Right.
So that's how you separate it versus like, just reposting a post. Like give somebody like $50 to repost a post. You know what I mean? Like think about it like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the many ways we can do, but I think within the plant community, that's one of the most effective ways. So
Right.
instead of just like, oh hey, uh I want to repost your post. Is it okay if I do that? Take it the extra mile, $50, 20, like however much you can do to support that person. Because plants aren't free. Like
Right.
taking these pictures, like I mean, granted those are free, but just that effort, that's
Right.
not free. And we
Right.
should be paid for our time. So I feel like that's one of the dopest things that you can do to separate yourself from being a good ally to a great ally.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So just the keywords are just like making sure that You know, and we're not saying that being a good ally is not it's a bad thing, right? It's
Right.
we're just trying to showcase the difference, right?
Hmm.
So being a good ally is good, right?
Hmm.
Essentially that's that, right? It's good,
Yeah.
and I think it's very appreciative, right? And that's great that that you guys want to help, and that's like I said, that's great. But being an effective ally or a great ally is just someone who's recognizing this and something it's ongoing for them, right?
Right.
It never ends for them. So the next time your coworker says something racist, instead of before you were just like laughing
Quiet
it
about
off,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Now being an effective ally, you're like, hey, that's not cool. Like
Yep.
you shouldn't be talking like that, or you shouldn't be saying no. Because I think before, people would just laugh it off and be like,
Laugh it off. Yeah.
ha ha ha, like then that's But I think moving forward, what we can do is we can all be effective or great allies and
Hmm.
actually speak up for
Yeah.
injustice, right? Speak up, and it's like these conversations are obviously not going to be comfortable, right? Like we said before, it's like, and you might lose friends or family members and whatnot, right? But I think the core is like don't ever compromise your don't compromise your integrity, right?
Yeah. 100%.
So if you believe in something, then make your stance,
Yeah.
and speak up and say something, because you don't want to, it's for me as a business owner, I think that I think I shared with you before was just that I was kind of worried that I might lose customers or
You
people
didn't need them.
yeah, exactly, right? So exactly, right? So if you don't believe in what I'm saying, then that's fine. I mean, I'm not here to. There's a bunch of other plant stores, and
Hmm.
I'm not the only plant store that you can be giving your money to, and I'm fine
Right.
with that. So it's it. I like to what I was saying before is like I'm not going to compromise who I am and what we stand for,
Hmm.
because I'm worried that I'm going to lose some customers, right?
Yeah.
It is what it
Like
is. So
exactly. Like I've for my whole life, like I've been very vocal about like where I come from, what I stand for. So like I've honestly lost a job because of racism. Like that's one thing. Like you can call me any name under the book, but like any like racial slur or when it comes to racism, that's
yeah,
one thing. Like I take of like of like that's huge to me. So like
right,
once you like bring race into the picture, like I'm going, like
yeah,
I'm I'm basically fighting for mine. You know what I mean? Like that's something that like you can't let slide. That's something that shouldn't even be in the picture to begin with. So the
right,
fact that you're bringing out, race is like, come on, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
we shouldn't be doing that. So like that's something that like I would always stand for. I don't care if I lose a customer, lose a friend. Granted, I wouldn't be friends with like someone that I could lose like that. So like
right,
that's just one thing I don't stand for is racism and anything like that. So like if you fear you're gonna lose somebody because of your stance, then that person is able to be lost. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't have that person as a friend or anything like that.
yeah, um, yeah. I agree. Well, and then I guess one last thing I just wanted
Yeah.
to bring up because I think there's a lot of sensitivity around this, but so just the difference between accountability and shaming, right?
Hmm.
So I think we kind of
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about it before.
yeah.
I just want to touch on it because I had touched on it before, but I just wanted to reiterate, right? So like like when you're holding people accountable, just be when you are, just be respectful, and understand that this other person may just not understand, right? Like we said earlier. So
Hmm.
just be respectful and don't, but that I think that's important to to be vocal about, right? But I think the shaming part, which is what I think what we said before offline, John, was that when you're shaming someone, I'm gonna name names,
Yeah.
right? Tag them and be like, this
Yeah.
person is not doing their part. I think
Yeah.
that's shaming, right? So
Yeah.
I think the next time someone is holding you accountable, kind of think about like, okay, cool. So this person's holding me accountable. Instead of me being defensive, instead of me being like, who is this person? I think we should all like kind of like recognize that, okay, respect that, okay, this person called me out or hold me accountable for something. Why is
Yeah.
that? What
Yeah.
am I doing? Think about like what are you doing or what are you not doing, right? Why does this person feel like they need to hold me accountable, right? So kind of just reflecting on that as to why it's happening versus being defensive, right? Because I
Right.
think that obviously there's a lot of emotions going on right now, so everyone might feel attacked or whatnot. But I challenge us to really think about why is this person holding me accountable.
Hmm. Versus taking offense to it. Yeah, I
Right.
agree. Because like my intentions with like where I stand as far as like calling like businesses out that are staying silent, that my intention is not to shame them, or my intention is not to make them feel bad. That's
Mm-hmm.
not my intentions. What my intentions are with that is like if I'm gonna spend my money with you, I
Mm-hmm.
would like to know your stance. And if you're a business, like this, what it ties all down to with me, like if you're a business in 2020, the way you're going to think, oh, how am I going to get my business out there? Create a social media account.
Right.
So if you're going to tell me social media is not important, then why'd you create the account to begin with? You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Exactly.
if you don't think it's important to voice your opinion, then you should just delete your Instagram if you're a business, because it's if your opinion is not important, social media shouldn't be important for your business. You know what I mean? So like that's my biggest thing. Like I didn't want to seem like as if I was being a bully or calling people out. What it
Right.
was just holding people accountable. Like you know the importance of social media, you know the importance of everything that's going on. So you you essentially owe it to your customers to let us know who we're spending our money with, what's your characteristics, where you
Right.
stand, things like that. So like I'm pretty sure like a lot of people that I've called, not called out, but like, went on their DMs, they're probably like, damn, like what's wrong with this guy? But like
Mm-hmm.
it's not a what's wrong with me, it's a what the hell's wrong with you? Like why are you not saying anything? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I feel.
Yeah. It's not. It's not. No, Black people have already tried the nice way, or I guess a
Exactly.
more
Yeah.
gentle way before,
Yeah.
right? And look at where we at now, right?
Yep.
Nothing's changed, right? So now this approach, my accountability might be more of an aggressive approach, I guess, compared to me just nicely saying it to you, right?
Yeah.
But what it's the approach that we need to take now because it's more effective this way. Because now
Hmm.
this business or person's like, oh wow, okay, I need
Yeah.
to think about that now, right?
Yeah.
Versus if I'm just like kind of like, oh, like very nicely about it, then there's gonna be like, okay, whatever, brush it
Yeah.
off, right? So yeah, I agree. It's just more, Black people have tried the nice way for too long. Now
Hmm.
we're now
So
we're
now we're
now we're
holding
being
people
more vocal.
accountable. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing, is just being vocal. Like
yeah,
with black people, like it's like we've tried to like you said, do things a nice way. So it seems like what's working is the protest. Um, we're like voicing our opinions, we're letting our opinions known, like, thousands of people are coming out. Like
yeah,
that speaks volume.
yeah,
Like granted, like I'm not protesting, but like I'm doing things the way I can, which is using my platform to its advantage. Like I'm using my however many followers to my advantage, getting my voice out, getting my opinion out to help the next person.
yeah.
And like these protests are obviously working because we've done so much within this, past week or week and a half, and imagine like what we can do going forward.
I agree.
So like staying silent is not the answer.
No.
That's it.
All right, cool. So we're at 12:50. I think the live is only good for an hour, right? And then it shuts
Yeah, I
off.
think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys have any questions, please ask them now so we can answer them before we get cut off. Um, Let me know. I'm gonna, or if no one, or if we
Any
don't, that's
questions,
fine.
anybody?
Huh?
Said any questions, anybody?
Any questions? If you guys have any questions about anything that we want to talk about, I guess before we, no questions. Okay, no questions. But if not, I think if you don't have any questions now, please feel free to reach out to any of us
Right.
in our DMs as well. We're more than open to talking about these things. And if you do DM us, just be respectful and don't just be mindful that we're also human beings as well, right? So be open to conversation. Don't if you DM me and the first few words is you cussing me out, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'll be honest. I won't talk to you. I'll probably more than likely block you. So don't just be just understand that we're all human beings. We all want to learn together. So and both and John and I are both open to helping and educating others. We're opening that platform for you guys to be able to speak to us.
Right.
Just be respectful. We have feelings too, you know. But yeah, I guess we'll just stay on for a few minutes and just make sure everyone. I just want to make sure that cool. Thanks for the comments, you guys.
Plant Chica. Shout out to Plant Chica. That's what I was talking about her saying the plant people are the dopest.
Oh, cute.
So I agree.
Our Instagram. Cute. Yeah, I think that, you know, moving forward, you know, if you guys have any ideas as to like what we can all be doing moving forward, please share your ideas. Because me and John are committed to this, and we really want to make a big impact in the plant community with this, or help with it. Because like we said before, I think it's already a really big, diverse community that we're all really doing great things already. But I think that there is definitely always more opportunity to grow and to do more things.
Rewild is another company. They're a plant shop out in DC, so we could ally them in and make it happen because they're vocal as well. So
awesome.
That's another ally we can use.
Yeah, let's partner up. I would love to partner up with all the other plant shops and whatnot. Okay.
For sure.
I have a 2-minute timer right now. It's counting down. Telling me to like hurry up and get off this call.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thanks, Sean, for
thank you
for going live with me and discussing your views and your thoughts.
For sure.
And thanks everyone for joining us. I think if you guys miss any of this, we're gonna be posting it on our Instagrams. And John, I believe you're gonna post it.
I'm gonna post it on YouTube.
Yeah. So, but yeah, give us feedback. Let us know how this went. We would love to get any feedback for this. I think this is something that we all need to do more of, and I would love to do more of these with you too, John.
For sure. I'm done.
Speak up and share things as this progress and whatnot. But yeah, well, thank you guys for all joining us. I'm gonna end this, and I will talk to you guys all later.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.